Hello, welcome to the program Property Behind the Scenes. This is F Living Channel, and this is a special English language edition of the program brought to you by the Federation of Estate Agents. I am your host for today. My name is Simon De Bono, and I am the General Secretary of the Union of the Federation. Today I have with me Dr. Charles Attard. He is a specialized tax advisor and the owner of Wonderful Consultants Limited. Welcome to the show, Dr. Attard.
Thanks for the invite.
We have had occasion to refer clients to you, and they always come out of the office saying, wow, I didn't know I could do that. And apparently the tax advisor does explain to clients options that they didn't know were available to them.
Yes, actually the tax advisor gives a world of opportunities based, tailor-made on the client. The tax advisor, all tax advisors in Malta are well prepared. And all tax advisors study the background of the client and give the advice tailor-made for the client. They just tell the client what's best to do, when it's best to buy, through whom is best to buy, and all the associates are required. They require an architect, they require a notary, they require you guys, they require us for the tax advice. Sometimes they do companies, sometimes they do trusts. So we give them a modus operandi.
We shall now cut to a short commercial break. This is F Living Channel, the property behind the scenes, brought to you by the Federation of Estate Agents. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is F Living TV, and this is a special English language edition of the program Property Behind the Scenes, brought to you by the Federation of Estate Agents. I am your host for today. My name is Simon De Bono, and I am the General Secretary of the Federation. I have today with me in the studio Dr. Charles Attard. He is a tax advisor and an owner of the firm Wonderful Consultants Limited, situated in the borders between Leah and Attard. Dr. Charles, how long have you been in tax advisory?
I've been since 1992. This is our 25th anniversary, and we're celebrating our 25th anniversary.
I have been quite a few times to your firm because we refer clients who require your services, and it's a rather large firm. You have quite a few employees there.
Yes, when you say that we employ 35 to 40 employees, it looks like for a general company it's a small company, but for the Malta quota, it's a good company.
It's rather large. So there's a lot of backup given to the client.
Yes, yes.
And also a rather large range of services.
Yes, because we do specialization. We don't go the traditional way. We go our own way. We specialize people in each and every sector. So the client, when he calls in, he doesn't call for his key person, but he calls for the topic. And if he wants to speak today about property, we have the person who will speak about property. If he wants to speak about tax, we have another person specialized on tax. Whatever is the question, we have the specialization department.
In fact, it's a comment I always receive from our foreign clients, that a lot of the service we offer are one-stop shops.
Yes.
And
yes,
it is something that they really seem to seek.
Yes, we do, because apart from our client base that comes from Malta, we do have clients that come from abroad. And to tell the truth, most of them, they come for retirement. They come for a holiday house. They don't come to buy and sell. But in the end, when they get to sell their business, their property, they found out that they made up some money as well.
An organization like yours won't be standalone. You would have a number of professional associates that would come in to close the loop of the one-stop shop services that we offer to international clients.
Because we've learned that it's no longer the Latin word for celebrant orchestra, a person that does his own things on his own, the one-man band, no longer goes today. You need to be associated with persons who are well versed in their work, in their business, in their profession, and also with the FEA, you get the best advice. So it's our philosophy: little knowledge is bad knowledge. So if it gets to something that has to do with a realtor, we go to the FEA, because these are the people that they know best.
The Federation prides itself on the training, on the managerial supervision, on the follow-ups, and also on the deployment. Do you notice that there's a difference between an FEA-regulated estate agent?
Yes. First of all, our clients, we have clients coming from abroad because they see on websites, on social media that we do this work, and they come on a fishing and expedition. I'd like to buy property for my retirement, for a holiday, for my children. And when you get the proper FEA link, they get to see not one property. They get to see a portfolios of properties to choose. And then they come back to me for the advice: which is the best property, which is the best price, which is the most advantageous catch.
So from what you're telling me, Dr. Charles, there are vehicles that allow you to do the same thing in a more tax-efficient manner.
Yes, this is where we come in. This is where we come in. We study the background of each client, each and every client, his background, the background of the spouse, the children, whether they want to have some property to be able to leave it as an inheritance, or under trust, or under a company, or to do the letting. Because we had had times when they bought property, they didn't need it any longer because they got older, and instead of selling the property, we went to an FEA agent and they rented out for them.
So turning the asset as an investment asset from an income asset at the same time.
Yes, an asset that started as a dwelling, as a summer dwelling, but now it's rendering money.
And there are obviously beneficial tax rates by the final withholding tax rate that make it quite interesting to have a property as a rental investment.
Not to say that the rental tax in Malta is now very, very advantageous. So if they decide to rent their place when they're not in Malta, it's already advantageous. If they want to sell, it's a flat rate. And we just explain to our clients in their particular sector, in their particular story, how much you're going to pay. They would know exactly before.
Since we are part of the European Union, Maltese law has now basically been standardized with European law. So they will find a legal framework that they are familiar with. But we do have our own special things, don't we?
Yes, we're Maltese. So we do have our own special things. We do have our own special laws. We treat our bread and butter, because these people are our bread and butter, in a special way, and we give them special rates as well. I suggest that each and every foreigner that wants to invest in Malta, get the phone, call your tax advisor, and you get to know exactly where you can save some money.
In finance, one would consider a tax advisor as a profession. And you have various structures within the organization. I know some of my people left and can join your firm.
Yes.
Why is it so attractive to work with as a tax advisor?
The tax advisor is a very, very parallel job to the Italian word commercialista, but the tax advisor has to be an expert in almost all fields, because it is not just a plus and a minus and a profit and loss and a balance sheet. No, it is a situation. The tax advisor will get to learn to know different situations, and will have to use his imagination and his experience, which story fits this client, which exercise fits this client, which tax bracket fits this client. And therefore the client will be getting a portfolio of advice from just one man.
I have noticed that in certain instances we had recommended clients to your firm, and you do actually take over the whole process, because they can't always be present in Malta when they need a document here and a document there. How does this work out?
Yes, we are authorized to do representation. So we get authorization to represent these peoples in different departments, not necessarily a power of attorney. It is just a representation for that particular department. So we get the authorization to represent the person and inform the person at which stage is his property deal at a particular moment.
You are watching F-Living channel. The program is a special English language edition of Property Behind the Scenes, brought to you by the Federation of Estate Agents. I am your host for today. My name is Simon DeBona and I am the Secretary of the Federation. I have today with me Dr. Charles Attard. He is a tax advisor and owner of Wonderful Consultants. They are based on the borders between Leah and Nashar. We shall go to a commercial break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. This is the TV channel F-Living. The program is Property Behind the Scenes, brought to you by the Federation of Estate Agents, and this is a special English language edition for our foreign clients. I am Simon DeBona, General Secretary of the Federation, and today in the studio with us we have Dr. Charles Attard. He is a professional tax advisor and owner of the company Wonderful Consultants, based on the borders between Leah and Nashar. Dr. Charles, amongst the services that are required where you go into any foreign buyer, they will have tax returns, they could choose a company formation, but there is accounting. There's lots of stuff that one has to do in a certain manner.
Yes, because we have to understand that when a person, an expat, is coming into Malta and living in Malta, working in Malta, purchasing property, a movable property in Malta, this person has to fit in the rules of Malta. And Malta is very, very much advanced in IT, accounting, information, and the government, like all big brothers, wants to know how much you're investing, where the money is coming from, how much money you're making, and that you're paying tax like other European citizens or non-European citizens. So you need accounting. Accounting in simple terms is telling a story. I'm telling the government what I did last year. And this has to be also presented in a professional manner. We do this work for our local and foreign clients to make sure that it is not the accounting method that they use in their country, because we do have our own rules and we present the income and expenditure and profits and tax balances in our templates.
But when one comes from abroad and they're looking about setting up a home in Malta, they sometimes like to spread the investment. They would buy property, but they will also invest in other vehicles and other instruments. What is your experience in this regard?
Yes, the first thing a tax advisor needs to do is to not to let the client, the customer, put all the eggs in one basket. Although we believe in property, in movable property, we have to give the selection, we have to give a portfolio where this person can invest. If he requires the money, the return on the money fast, if he wants a long-term investment, so yes, we do consider other types of investments.
There are also other vehicles that allow the succession of property within the family, protects against creditors, the trusts.
Yes, yes. In Malta we have our own law for trusts, and it's a very good law, because trust law in Malta, the Trust Act and the nominees, allows these persons to have their own company, their own property registered on the name of an authorized fiduciary. We do have our associates, like we do have the FVA, we have notaries and we have fiduciaries, and yes, we do suggest some trusts in some cases. Because with trusts, the investor can already tell the future where he wants his property to go. We call them the ultimate beneficiaries and the beneficiaries.
So with a trust comes also the beneficiaries.
Yes, we will ask, usually the tax advisor that takes his client to a trustee to do, to a fiduciary to do a trust, the fiduciary will ask him, I need a letter of wishes. I need to know who's going to be the beneficiary. You are the settler, but I need a beneficiary. And this is very, very, very promising in Malta.
But then the trust also has guarantees of safety. There's a protector.
Yes, because our law requires that the trustee, the fiduciary, will not do this on his own. The fiduciary needs to be checked upon as well. So in the Trust Act, there needs to be appointed a protector. And we do give the services of protectors so that we will protect our client from any possible mistake that the fiduciary may have.
So then when the beneficiary, the person who put his property into trust and his assets,
The settler.
passes away,
Yes. We already have a list which door we're going to knock.
so the settler, the beneficiary will say, look, I want on my debt for my property to go to this person and this person and this person.
Not only on the death, there are cases where they cannot take a decision any longer, or they cannot, they are not reachable any longer. At any given time, when the fiduciary cannot hold the pot of assets because hasn't got the instructions from the settler, has to revert to the beneficiaries.
The beneficiaries. So we actually have quite a sophisticated financial services system that provides a number of products to international clients.
Of course, not to forget the investment schemes. The persons wanting to become citizens in Malta with a number of with a bigger portfolio for investment. They also can have investment in Malta with an eye for the future for their beneficiaries. Our system is very, very refined.
And the government here encourages that one does have investments of a certain level, you could actually, after an extensive due diligence progress, if they are happy with what they see, they could actually offer you citizenship.
Yes. Yes.
And there has been quite a take-up on this
Yes,
sector.
yes, and we have associates that are specialized on this, because Malta, not only one of the consultants, Malta is driving that way, specialization.
I have had various exposure, and the clients always seem to be favorable. And one of the things that surprised me, we're not that expensive. When you have clients coming from Switzerland, from London, from Paris, from Luxembourg, the fees are astronomical over there, and they find us much more reasonable than reasonable.
The good thing is that I won't say that we're not expensive. I think Malta, compared to the past, is expensive, but not as expensive as other places. And the fact that Malta has the rules and the regulations that are self-explanatory, clients will know exactly step by step what they're paying for. That makes it explanatory and therefore not so much expensive.
You are watching the program on F-Living channel. This is a special English language edition called Property Behind the Scenes, brought to you by the Federation of Estate Agents. I am your host for today. My name is Simon De Boon, and I am the General Secretary of the Federation. I have today as our guest Dr. Charles Attard, who is a professional tax advisor and owner of the company Wonderful Consultants on the borders between Leah and Nashar. We shall go to a short commercial break. Please stay with us. This is F-Living channel. The program is a special English language edition of Property Behind the Scenes, brought to you by the Federation of Estate Agents. I am your host today. My name is Simon De Bono, and I am the General Secretary of the Federation. I have as our guest today Dr. Charles Attard. He's a professional tax advisor and owner of the company Wonderful Consultants, based on the border between Leah and Nashar. Dr. Charles, I've been in the real estate for quite some time, and you have been a tax advisor and an accountant for quite some time. And we have a longer term view of what has happened and we're going. It just seems to be growing, doesn't it?
Yes, yes. Malta has always had the strategic point, the place where we are, in the middle of the Mediterranean. When I was young, I used to learn at school that we sell the sun and the sea. Today we sell a lot of things. We sell the sun, the sea, medical services, information technology services, gaming, property boom. So this is a very tiny island with a bigger heart. And this is why people are coming to Malta. People, they want to grow old in Malta. We are growing old, our children are growing old, our visitors are growing old, and people are all coming to Malta to peacefully live in Malta. And this is our success. I can see that in Malta we are importing manpower. And when you are importing manpower, it means that your manpower is not enough. And if your manpower, if you're not producing enough manpower, it means that you have success. And where is this success coming? From people looking at us, people coming to us, people coming to live with us. Imagine the same story on a smaller domestic level. And I tell you, I like your house and I want to come and live with you. You can say, this man is going to live with me. Why? Because he likes my way of living. Because there is a prospective way of living. And this second way is why people want to come to Malta, because they see a prospective way of living. Yes, I believe that more sectors need to be created. The building industry, it's in the boom. The medical industry, it's in the boom. The IT, it's in the boom. Everything is in the boom. I know that we will soon be creating like blockchain technology and other technologies to make business more worth for the people who are visiting us.
But there is still that Mediterranean lifestyle. As you said, the sun and the sea, the quality of the food. They often comment that Maltese people care.
Maltese people not only care, Maltese people have a history of a polylinguistic rule. So we can try and speak in every language that a visitor speaks. It's like the Pentecost. We try and speak all the languages just to host, because we are born to host. Maltese people are born to host. And this is why Maltese people don't find it difficult at all to interact with foreign visitors.
You are watching the program on F Living channel. This is a special English language edition of Property Behind the Scenes, brought to you by the Federation of Estate Agents. The program shows every day at 7:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m., Monday to Friday, as well as on Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. You can follow past editions on the YouTube stream of F Living channel, as well as the one of the Federation of Estate Agents. Thank you for having stayed with us. Looking forward to seeing you next time.